right. Hello, everybody. It's me, Aline, and welcome to our second Facebook Live. Today we are actually forming this early, German behavior. So I'm very excited for today's talk. We will talk with Ine together about how it is dating as a bisexual digital nomads. We will cover all the topics, and please ask us lots of questions in the comment box. We are really happy to share. Oh, and there she is. Hang on, I will quickly invite Ine. Okay, Ed. Hopefully that works better than yesterday. We had some technical problems yesterday. So, let's see. Okay, so while we were waiting for her to hop on the Facebook Live, how about you tell us where you're watching from? Say hi in the comments. I see 4 people already live and watching. Hang on. All right. Ina is there. I think it's just about. Yeah, Annie? Oh, hey, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Can
Okay,
you
let
hear
me
me?
turn on the sound a bit more.
Can you hear me clearly?
Wait. Yeah, now I hear you much better. Thank
All
you.
right, awesome. So please comment in the box, in the comment box if you hear the both of us clearly. So just to make sure. And yeah, welcome so much, Ina, for hopping on the live stream today with me together. Awesome to have you. We're basically covering everything about dating as a bisexual nomad and how you're experiencing this, how your experiences are so far. I'm very excited about that. So why don't you maybe introduce yourself and where are you at right now?
Right now, I am actually in my grandmother's house in Belgium.
Ah,
Belgium is where I'm from. Yeah, I just came back from Bansko, and I'm on my way to Morocco next week, and I make a quick administration stop in Belgium.
awesome.
Um, yeah, it's nice to be around family for a moment. It's good. Um, Hello everyone, for who is watching already. What I am doing is I write a blog, Compass to Connection, and I write about sexuality and connection, human connection, about love and relationships. I started with this project 1 year ago when I realized, okay, what do I want to do? What is my passion? What is my mission? And I realized that I really believe that with connection, we can make this world like a better place and we can find the happiness in ourselves because we have this connection with ourselves, with others, with the world. And that's why I started this project. And I see it as a research where I can experiment, and I'm doing lots of different things like interviews, and I give some workshops, and yeah, so it's been very, very, very interesting. Yeah, and apart from that, I'm also doing a few other projects. I'm starting now a business where I can help people to travel who cannot travel by themselves because they have maybe a physical disability or they are having a depression and they want someone with them to be there for them.
That is amazing. What inspired you to do this project? I really love that. It's awesome.
The last one
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the traveling, you mean? Yeah. So actually, from education, I am a social worker, creative therapist, and a life coach. And my traveling is my passion. I'm doing this because I love to do it.
Good.
And while I'm traveling, I miss the contact with working with that kind of clients.
Mm.
So I realized I'm sure that those people also want to travel, but maybe something is holding them back. And I think I might be the right person for them to just come along with them and to guide them during their travels for them to make it able to have the same learning and grow experience of traveling as I do.
That's awesome. Really, congrats with that, and good, lots of luck to you about it. So,
Thank you. I'm working on the website, so.
Good, good. So, you told me you are a bisexual woman, and as a digital nomad, I really would love to know what is the best part about dating as a digital nomad or a bisexual woman? Can you give us a little bit of insight in that?
Yeah, so for me, in a way, I think being bisexual makes everything easier because there are more people out there to date. But in the same way, it makes it also harder because there's so many options, and so many more people to explore. Um, so I always go from the mindset that I'm assuming that a person in front of me is also bisexual, because I believe that humans always have some kind of bisexual nature. Um, and so I try to not assume that the person is going to be heterosexual um, or gay or whatever. So this makes it's open for me when I see a person in front of me to see this person actually as a person and not as a possible partner. Like, or everyone can be then the possible partner because I see the person in front of me. Um, and uh, Doing this as a digital nomad, um, how can I say this? Yeah, I feel like nomads are super interesting to date because we all want to travel. We are there because we want our freedom. But the commitment makes it, I think, harder because I feel many digital nomads have some kind of issue or with commitment or committing,
Mm-hmm.
and this might reflect relationships as well. Um, but when I was in Bansko for a longer time, I've dated digital nomads, I've dated locals, and I've dated um, just the tourists who pass by for a week. And what I realized, there is such a huge difference in that
Okay.
because the locals, they are usually not open to this idea, or they're not ready for the mindset of being abroad for a longer time. They don't have the mindset about the money, that you can use it in many different ways. So that's what I was really lacking when I was dating a local person. When I was dating a tourist, yeah, it's just not the same because most of the time they don't know what a co-working is. They go back to their lives. They are just there for a quick fuck, let's say,
Yeah.
and it's not really something sustainable. And of course, I meet sometimes really interesting people that are also aspiring a digital nomad lifestyle, and then it might work. But
Mm.
um, yeah, I think I would love to find my soulmate in the digital nomad community because then you're on the same kind of life vision. So in a way, yeah, that's what I would like to do, dating digital nomads.
Yeah, and I can totally understand that because where I'm from, so I'm from Germany and from a very small village, and there were no people really that are under my same mindset as you are, so it was really hard to connect also. And so going out, meeting other digital nomads really personally helped me. And so, what do you think? We talked about what is in your opinion, the best part about it, but what are you really struggling with as a dating as a digital nomad? Is it that part that
Yeah.
you look for something serious, maybe, or and you find other nomads are not as committed, or is it maybe something else?
Um, Yeah, I just wanted to say something else about what you said about that it's hard to find people like-minded in your own town, and that's something I really want to say to everyone who's watching. For a long time, I waited to start this lifestyle because I was waiting for a partner to do it with. So I was looking in my own town to find that partner to go traveling. And at one point, I just said, okay, I don't wait for this person anymore. I just go there, and on the way, I might find someone or not. okay, I'm already living the dream. By living this dream, I will meet someone who has the same dream.
Yeah.
But by staying home, I'm not living my dream, and I will find the right person.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. And I think that.
and then,
Oh, sorry, you go.
yeah,
Ina, are you hearing me?
are you,
It was a bit
okay, I'm
shaky
sorry,
now.
the Wi-Fi was, yeah.
Okay.
You were saying something?
Yeah, I was just wondering also what our community says. So for those who are watching, please share what you find really struggling or what you find really good about dating as a nomad. Um, Someone says we can't see you. I think that was a moment ago when we were shaking, but it should be back on it. So please give us a thumb up if you can see us clearly. But yeah, if you're watching, and it would be really interesting to know what you find really difficult. What are you struggling with as a nomad? Do you feel maybe similar as Ine, that nomads may be less committed, or yeah, just share what you think, what your experiences are. It would be really interesting to know. Um, because I was actually single for about 3 years as a digital nomad. Well, I'm now happily in a relationship, but for me it was often very yeah, tricky because people come and go, and I first didn't had a home base, so it was really hard for me to actually get to know someone. And then there's visas, of course, so people are constantly on the move, so that was something I struggled with, and I seek the community or home base, and that was a big realization for me because I knew I need to settle for a while and just get to know people, have friends, and yeah, and then it actually happened that I bumped into my soulmate in a coffee shop. But I think it also depends on different people. Maybe they're traveling for business, so you cannot avoid traveling, or actually, most of us they don't want to avoid traveling. So yeah, that is for me tricky. And so something I wanted to ask you, since you're dating also women, and that is something I'm very interested in. Did you find there is a difference between dating women or men when it comes to communication? Because I think it could possibly be that, or basically, often I think it's hard to, can be a hard part in a relationship or while dating, that you have lots of misunderstandings, or men and women, they vibe differently, they communicate differently, they even have different human body languages. So what do you think is simpler, talking and communicating to men or women?
Well, yeah, I definitely believe that men and women are, we are so different. We have completely different energies, and when I'm dating a man, I'm really looking for that male energy, and when I'm dating a woman, I'm really looking for that really sensual female energy. So I'm not looking into having this male energy in the woman and the opposite. So I think the communication differences are definitely there.
Mhm.
It depends on the person. But when I'm dating a woman, I feel like it's easier for me to look into how she's thinking because I'm kind of thinking similar.
Yeah.
While with a man, sometimes they are the opposite. So that makes it harder. But then again, I think women are more complex in communication than men.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So for communication, I think it's quite similar. If a person is open to be honest and to have that open communication, then it goes smooth. And I'm really all about communication. I think communication is one of the most important things to be able to connect. And if the communication is wrong, I feel like for me at least, when I'm dating someone, communication is not going well, it's doomed. Like it definitely will fail, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to work. I find it really important.
Sorry, can you repeat the last? You
I find that it's really, really important, and I put a lot of effort in a good communication.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good to know. And then, so are you using any, because people often ask me at least, where can we connect with people? Is there anything, is there favorite tools of you that you like to go to meet people? Um, let's say for
That's a good
whatever you're looking for, is there like some favorite tools that you're using to meet women or men?
My for sure, my first most favorite tool is meeting someone in person.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Like, I love to go to events and to be around people and to meet them and to show myself and to let them know, hello, I'm existing. I'm here but not in of course like an overwhelming way, but just to show them like if you're interested in what you're seeing and in what you're hearing from me, then let's meet sometime else and let's have that date. And my I think my favorite first date is just having a walk. I think it's amazing to talk when you're walking because you're doing something else, so the focus is not just eye contact,
Yeah,
when you're drinking. So I love to walk for a first date. And then other tools I'm using to actually meet people. There's so many online tools to get to know
yeah.
others. One that I was using more when I was traveling is actually Couchsurfing Meetup. It's not a dating tool,
Ah,
but I've met a lot of nice people that became friends, and with some of them I could actually see myself dating as well. And you meet with someone who is physically there with you. So you both go online at the moment you're in the same town, and you ask someone you want to go for a beer or you want to go for lunch together. So I think that's an amazing thing to do. And other things, of course, there is Tinder. Um, I think Jackie also said it in the other live event. It's really mostly focused on sex, and I find it hard to find people who are looking for a serious commitment. But
yeah.
of course, it can happen, and I've met very interesting people through Tinder as well. Because I believe that if a person like me is on there, then some other people who are similar to me must have the same idea about it and must be there as well. And then, of course, lately I've been using Nomad Soulmates since it's online,
Yay.
and I've met very interesting people there. So I'm looking forward to see the platform grow and to meet more and more people. Um, there is one guy, and we started talking. And it's like, okay, he's from the UK, and I was in Bulgaria at that moment. Now I'm going to Morocco, and it's so much fun to just say, okay, where do we will we go on our first date? Will you meet me in Morocco, or should we go to Lisbon or Berlin? And like, it's such a different way of dating than I used to have in my own city, because there we would be like this coffee bar or that park, and now
Yeah,
it's like Lisbon or Berlin.
that's kind of cool
So yeah,
actually. Cool. Nice to hear also that it
yeah.
that it worked for you. That is really cool. Good feedback for us. And so how I actually wanted to say something about the. Oh, sorry, I think my Wi-Fi was quick off. Um, so I think that couch surfing was also really a good way to meet people because I never actually tried that, to be honest. But my boyfriend, he is a host and he invites people all the time for to sleep over or to go camping or to go, go in nature and show them around. And that alone was really, it's kind of a relaxed atmosphere also. I think it's a great way to connect. And of course, our Nomad Soulmates app is yeah, one of my favorite, obviously. And I personally connected already to many people in Bali who come to fly into Bali or already here. So that really worked for me. And yeah, so you told me earlier that you gave a workshop in Bansko about Tantra and intimacy. So I would really love to know what were actually the specific points that you talked about in that workshop.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared to start with this because I felt giving a workshop about the topic that I'm learning about, it would give me so much growth. And the first time I asked Uwe, the founder of this co-working in Bansko, if I could give this workshop about Tantra in the co-working basement for the co-working people, he was like, "Whoa,
I'm sure you said not
why?"
no.
So it was a bit funny for me to ask him, and he was like, "Ah, well, sure. If people are not dancing around naked in my basement, it's fine." And I was like, "Okay, I can manage that." So
Was that
yeah,
after
so I created this workshop. Sorry?
party? I was just joking. I was saying, was there an after party event though in Uber's basement?
Yeah. So I created this workshop for the other coworkers that were there, and I think about 20 people were there. And we talked about sexuality and about what the psychological roadblocks are for men and women to not completely surrender into sexuality. And I believe it's so important to talk about sex because I believe many digital nomads are very interested in personal development. I've noticed they're working a lot about consciousness, but often we forget the topic of sexuality. I believe it's one of the most suppressed topics in personal development. So I really wanted to put that into a light, and by talking about it, by playing with it, by doing exercises, I believe that with putting it in the light, we actually give it a chance to grow. And that's what happened in this workshop. We gave it a chance to grow. And yeah, one of the most important things that hold us back from sexual growth is shame. And if we start talking about it, and if I think for me also as a facilitator, take off that shame to talk about it with coworkers, then this helps to to expand. And I think Tantra is a great way, a great tool to use. Tantra is a practice that is used to awaken senses and body and to reconnect the body, the mind, and the soul. And by breathing exercises, by changing your intentions, by some different, slightly different body movements. Actually, this is how we practice Tantra. So it's not creating one big orgy in this co-working basement. But what we did was actually just breathing exercises and learning about ourselves, of why we psychologically do things, and yeah, what our fears are about sexuality as well.
Hmm. And I think that's interesting because I think that Tantra or these exercises, they go beyond sex and they really is, I think, a lot about connecting to yourself again and um, yeah, observe you consciously. And I think that's very beautiful. And often we just miss out on that sometimes. So I think having these exercises can really help to get back to it. So thank you so much about talking about that. And then what talking about Bansko, hang on. I want to give a shout out to Bansko actually because we both love it a lot. And actually, it's also how we get to know each other and Uwe. And we had the retreat there. It's really, really awesome. So if you're, especially if you're skiing and love the mountains, you should go. All right. So, um, what do you think to close this off? Is there something, because I know you're all about connection, your blog is about connection. and you guys should check it out. She has some really interesting articles there that help you. And what is your number one advice to connect with people that are strangers or that you never knew? Because I think often we are also very nervous to talk to that really attractive person on the other side of the room. What do you think? How can we make a connection to this person without being, looking awkward or desperate or those kind of things that you may have a fear of?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question because I'm talking about this so much to the people around me because they always come to me for advice. Like, I like this person, but I don't know what to do with it. And usually it comes down because of the fear of rejection. We are so afraid of rejection,
Oh,
and it's good to know that the rejection is often not about you. The rejection is just because there is a fit, like there is no fit of the circumstances. Maybe they are going somewhere else, or they have they just don't have the desire to connect at the moment, and it might not have been anything to do with you. And what we do as humans, we put those rejections on us. We feel that we are rejected as a person, and that's what hurts. And it hurts also for me when I get rejected. But at one point, I was really like, okay, what do I have to lose? I'm traveling. Usually, people are only for a short time there. You just meet them across the street, or they're there in your co-working for 1 week, and you only have this one shot at it. And after that, they will leave if nothing else works out. So, what do you have to lose? Nothing. And it's so worth it to just get yourself out there. And I think what it takes is courage and braveness, and you just need to love yourself enough to tell yourself, I am worth of love, I am worth of connection, and go out there to this person and tell them that you want to go on a date with them. Just taking the initiative. And if you've already been on that date, to be brave enough to share how you feel that after that one night together, or that whatever, that you say, okay, we part our ways, but actually I would love to stay connected because I get this desire to be more with you. And we are afraid that the other one will respond in a different way, but again, what do we have to lose? Like, we can only gain,
Mm-hmm.
and the rejection is in our minds.
Yeah. And I think like once you try it, you really feel also proud about yourself, even though maybe a few hours later or a minute later you have tried, and even though it may is a no, uh, there's still so many other beautiful people out there, and definitely I think dating is also about practice and to feel comfortable to talk to people and to just allow connection to come in somehow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if there's a
that's so
connection,
true.
then yeah. All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Ina, for this really awesome interview. I really enjoyed talking to you about it. And for everyone who is watching, the people who were sticking with us until the end and who are most engaged. So I will later on, I promised a voucher of 35% off for our next retreat in Dahab, which is in May. And I personally am so excited about Dahab because there's so many adventures you can go on. It's from kite surfing to stargazing and sleeping under the stars. And um, so I'm really excited to hand this over to one of our participants. And you guys see me tomorrow again at 4 p.m. with Johnny. So I'm excited about that again live. And yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody. Nice to have you there and have a good day as well,
Thank
Ine.
you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me and for hosting this. It was amazing to talk about this with the Nomad Soulmates community.
All
Thank you.
right. See you. Goodbye, everybody.